Most gardeners spend good money on protein supplements without realizing that some of the richest protein sources on Earth grow right in a garden bed. I'm Timothy at Evergreen Garden, and today we are going through 15 crops you can grow yourself. Number 7 on this list surprises almost every gardener who hears it. We start with one of the most rewarding crops any gardener can plant, and that is the humble green pea. Do not let the word humble fool you. A cup of cooked green peas delivers around 8 grams of protein, and they are one of the earliest crops you can get into the ground each year. Green peas thrive in USDA zones 3 through 11. They are a cool season crop, so get seeds in the ground about 4 to 6 weeks before your last frost date. Once summer heat arrives, they stop producing and decline quickly. You can train peas up a simple trellis for easy picking, or choose a bush variety for raised beds and containers. A pot at least 12 inches deep handles a compact bush variety well. The tip that makes the biggest difference? Pick pods as soon as they feel plump and round. The more you harvest, the more the plant produces. Let pods sit and go to seed, and flowering slows immediately. The mistake most people make is planting too late. Get peas in the ground early. They handle a light frost after germination without issue. Green peas are safe for children and pets, and as legumes, they fix nitrogen and leave your soil in better shape than they found it. If you have ever wanted to grow a true pantry staple, black beans are an excellent starting point. 1 cup of cooked black beans contains around 15 grams of protein. They dry and store beautifully, and a row or two of black beans gives you a supply of dried beans that will last for years in a sealed jar. Black beans grow in USDA zones 3 through 10 and love warm weather. Direct sow seeds after your last frost when the soil has warmed to at least 60 degrees. Bush varieties mature in 60 to 70 days and stay compact for raised beds. Pole varieties climb 5 to 6 feet and need a trellis. Plant seeds 1 inch deep and 3 to 4 inches apart. For dried beans, leave pods on the plant until they turn brown and papery, and you can hear the seeds rattle inside. Pull the whole plant, hang it in a well-ventilated area for a week, then shell the beans and store them in an airtight jar. The mistake to avoid is rushing the drying process. If you shell beans before they are completely dry and hard, they will mold in storage. Always confirm beans are firm and dry before putting them in a container. Black beans are safe for all. Lentils feel like something you just pick up in a bag at the grocery store, not something you grow yourself, but they are one of the easiest protein crops you can put in a garden, and one of the most rewarding. 1 cup of cooked lentils delivers close to 18 grams of protein, making them among the highest yielding plants on this list. As a legume, they also fix nitrogen in the soil while they grow, so they improve your garden bed at the same time. Lentils grow in USDA zones 3 through 10. Sow seeds an inch deep and 4 inches apart in early spring while the soil is still cool. They grow upright to about 18 inches, rarely need staking, and mature in 70 to 100 days. Harvest when pods turn tan and papery and foliage begins to yellow. Pull the whole plant, dry it in a well-ventilated area for a week, then thresh by placing plants in a cloth bag and stepping on it. The mistake most growers make is harvesting wet. If rain is coming, pull the plants early and finish drying indoors. Lentils prefer average soil. Too much nitrogen means more leaves and fewer pods. Safe for all. Chickpeas have been grown in home gardens for thousands of years, and once you grow your own, store-bought dried chickpeas taste noticeably different by comparison. Around 7 grams of protein per half cup, and they bring a richness and depth that comes through clearly in the kitchen. Chickpeas grow in USDA zones 6 through 10. They need a long season of about 100 to 110 days, so plan ahead. In Zone 5, start them indoors a few weeks before last frost. Plant seeds 1 inch deep and 6 inches apart after last frost in warm soil. They stay compact at 18 to 24 inches with no trellising needed. What makes chickpeas genuinely useful in a garden is their drought tolerance. Once established, they handle heat and dry spells that stress most other crops. They actually prefer lean soil and struggle in heavily amended or nitrogen-rich beds. The mistake to avoid is crowding. When chickpeas are packed too close, airflow drops, and fungal problems follow. Space them well, water at the base only, and keep foliage dry. Safe for all. Edamame is one of the most underestimated crops in the home garden. Most people know it as an appetizer, not a vegetable to grow. But soybeans are one of the most productive and beginner-friendly protein crops available. Harvested fresh while pods are green, edamame gives you around 9 grams of protein per half cup. Let the beans dry fully on the plant, and that number climbs to 17 or 18 grams per cup. Edamame grows in USDA zones 3 through 11. Plant seeds after your last frost when the soil has warmed above 60 degrees, about 1 inch deep and 3 inches apart. Bush varieties reach 2 feet tall and suit raised beds perfectly. They mature in 70 to 90 days. The tip that matters most for first-time growers: harvest fresh edamame when pods are plump and vivid green. If they begin to yellow, the fresh eating window is gone. Let them go fully dry at that point and harvest as dried soybeans instead. Nothing is wasted. The mistake is adding high nitrogen fertilizer. Edamame is a legume and makes its own nitrogen. Extra nitrogen pushes the plant toward leafy growth at the expense of pods. Compost at planting is enough. Safe for all. Most gardeners grow pumpkins for the fall harvest and then scoop out and discard the seeds. 1 ounce of roasted pumpkin seeds delivers close to 9 grams of protein, along with zinc, magnesium, and iron. Every pumpkin you grow is already a protein crop if you save the seeds. Pumpkins grow in USDA zones 3 through 10 in rich, well-amended soil with full sun. Plant after last frost in hills spaced 5 to 6 feet apart. They mature in 90 to 120 days. For smaller gardens, bush varieties like Spooktacular or Bush Baby produce on shorter vines that suit a raised bed. Roasting the seeds is simple. Rinse, remove the pulp, spread on a baking sheet with a drizzle of oil and salt, and roast at 350 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. The mistake is not accounting for vine spread. Standard pumpkin vines run 8 to 10 feet. Plant them at the edge of your garden where they can spread outward without overtaking other crops. Safe for all. Here is number 7, and here is why this one surprises people: sunflowers. If you have been thinking of sunflowers as ornamental plants or as something you grow for the birds, I want you to reconsider. 1 ounce of sunflower seed kernels contains around 6 grams of protein, plus vitamin E, magnesium, and healthy fats. A single large sunflower head produces half a cup of edible seeds or more, and a row of tall sunflowers becomes a meaningful protein harvest. Sunflowers grow in USDA zones 3 through 11. Plant seeds directly after last frost, 1 inch deep and 12 to 24 inches apart. Tall varieties like Mammoth Russian grow 8 to 10 feet with enormous seed heads. Shorter varieties like Dwarf Sunspot suit a raised bed. They are drought tolerant and almost entirely self-sufficient once established. Harvest when the back of the head turns brown and seeds begin to loosen. Cut the head, cover it with a paper bag secured around the stem, and hang upside down to dry. The bag catches falling seeds and keeps birds away. The mistake is waiting too long. Birds know exactly when sunflower seeds are ready and will pick a head clean overnight. When seeds start to darken and the head begins to droop, move quickly. Sunflowers are safe for all. Before we move to the next 8 crops, I want to say quickly, if you enjoy this kind of content, crops that go beyond the usual tomatoes and zucchini, please hit subscribe and join the Evergreen Garden community. We cover this kind of topic regularly, and it means a great deal to have you here. No home gardener has ever considered growing oats, and that is a genuine opportunity being missed. 1 cup of dry oats contains around 6 grams of protein, and oats are a cool season grain that can be grown in a surprisingly small garden plot. It is one of those crops that changes how you think about what a garden can do. Oats grow in USDA zones 3 through 9. Plant in very early spring alongside peas while the soil is cool. Broadcast seeds or sow in rows 3/4 of an inch deep, thin to 3 or 4 inches apart. They mature in 60 to 80 days. Harvest when seed heads turn golden and grains feel firm. Cut and bundle stalks. Hang to dry for 2 weeks, then thresh by running heads through your hands over a bucket. The mistake with oats is planting in warm weather. This is strictly a cool season crop. Oats planted in summer heat stop growing and produce nothing. Get them in the ground as early as the soil can be worked. Safe for all. Despite the name, buckwheat is not a wheat at all. It is a flowering plant related to rhubarb, which means it contains no gluten. 1 cup of cooked buckwheat provides around 6 grams of protein, and it is a complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids. Very few plant foods can make that claim. Buckwheat grows in USDA zones 3 through 10 and matures in just 60 to 70 days, one of the fastest crops on this list. Sow seeds directly after last frost in almost any soil, 2 to 3 inches apart. It prefers average to poor soil and struggles when over-fertilized. The tiny white flowers it produces attract pollinators throughout the growing season, and the plant makes excellent green manure when turned in before setting seed. The key timing issue: buckwheat seed heads shatter easily when ripe. When seeds begin turning brown-black, harvest promptly by cutting tops into a paper bag. Do not wait for all seeds to ripen at once. Safe for all. Farro is an ancient emmer wheat grown in gardens for more than 10,000 years. Roman legions carried it as their primary food supply, and today it is enjoying a genuine comeback among home gardeners. 1 cup of cooked farro provides 6 to 8 grams of protein with a chewy, nutty texture modern wheat cannot match. Farro grows in USDA zones 5 through 10. Planted in fall for a spring harvest in most regions, or in early spring for a summer harvest where winters are too severe for overwintering grain. Sow seeds 1 to 2 inches deep and 4 to 6 inches apart in average, well-drained soil. Farro grows 3 to 4 feet tall with golden stalks that look beautiful in the garden. It matures in 90 to 130 days. Harvest when stalks are fully golden. Bundle, hang to dry for 2 to 3 weeks, then thresh by beating bundles against the inside of a barrel or box. The mistake that trips up first-time growers is choosing the wrong seed. Look specifically for emmer, sometimes sold as triticum dicoccum. Spelt and einkorn are different grains often sold under similar names. Not suitable for those with celiac disease or gluten sensitivity. Safe for all others. Quinoa is one of a very small number of plant foods that delivers a truly complete protein, containing all 9 essential amino acids in amounts that matter.
1 cup of cooked quinoa provides around 8 grams of protein, and it is naturally gluten-free. Nutritionally, it is one of the most significant plants on this entire list. Quinoa grows in USDA zones 4 through 10 and prefers cool conditions. Plant in early spring for a summer harvest, or late summer for a fall harvest in mild climates. Sow seeds on the surface, or no more than a 1/4 inch deep, as they need light to germinate. Space plants 4 to 6 inches apart in rows 24 inches wide. Quinoa grows 2 to 6 feet tall and produces striking colored seed heads that range from white to red to deep purple. Harvest when seed heads are fully dry and seeds do not leave a wet mark when pressed. Cut heads into a bag or box, then rub between palms to release seeds. The step new growers skip is rinsing. Quinoa has a natural bitter coating called saponin. Rinse harvested seeds thoroughly under cold running water for a full minute before cooking. The taste difference is significant. Quinoa is safe for all and gluten-free. Amaranth may be the most versatile crop on this list because it gives you 2 separate harvests. The young leaves that emerge in spring are edible and mild, similar to spinach. Let the plant mature, and it produces dramatic seed plumes in magenta, gold, and bronze. 1 cup of cooked amaranth seeds delivers around 9 grams of protein, and amaranth is a complete protein. Amaranth grows in USDA zones 2 through 11, which covers the entire continental United States. It is heat-tolerant, drought-tolerant, and thrives in poor or average soil. Sow seeds on the surface after last frost and press them gently in without covering them, thin to 12 to 18 inches apart. Plants grow 2 to 8 feet tall, depending on variety, and should be positioned at the back of beds because of the shade they cast. The mistake is skipping the thinning step. Crowded amaranth produces small, underdeveloped seed heads. Give each plant its full space and you will be well rewarded. Deer browse it aggressively if given access. Safe for all. Peanuts form underground rather than on the vine. After the flower is pollinated, a peg grows down from the stem into the soil, and the peanut develops at the tip. When you dig the plant at harvest, the peanuts come up on the roots still attached. 1 ounce of peanuts delivers around 7 grams of protein, and as a legume, they also fix nitrogen in the soil. Peanuts grow in USDA zones 6 through 11 and need 120 to 150 days of warm season. Use raw, unroasted peanuts in the shell from a seed supplier. Shell just before planting, sow 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart after last frost. As plants grow, mound soil around the base to give pegs a clear path into the ground. When leaves begin to yellow in late summer, dig carefully rather than pulling. Cure by spreading the whole plant in a dry, warm area for 2 to 3 weeks before removing pods. The mistake is planting grocery store peanuts. They are roasted and will not germinate. Always use raw, unprocessed seed peanuts. A safety note: peanuts are a common allergen. Do not grow them in a shared garden where someone has a severe peanut allergy, and keep pets away from the plants and harvested pods. Chia seeds were so valued by the Aztec and Maya that they were used as currency and offered as tribute. 2 tablespoons deliver 4 to 5 grams of protein, along with significant omega-3 fatty acids, calcium, and fiber, which is a notable combination in such a tiny seed. Today, chia is grown successfully in home gardens across the country with a bit of planning. Chia is a perennial in USDA zones 9 through 12 and a warm season annual elsewhere. Because it needs 120 to 180 days to mature, gardeners in zones 3 through 8 should start seeds indoors 6 to 8 weeks before last frost and transplant outside after all danger of frost has passed. Give it the warmest, sunniest spot in your garden. It grows 2 to 5 feet tall and produces violet flowers that pollinators love. Zones 7 and 8 have the most reliable results growing chia as an annual. Zones 3 through 6 should start very early indoors and be ready to protect plants if frost arrives before the seed stalks have dried. The mistake is harvesting too early. Chia seeds are tiny and can mold quickly if there is any remaining moisture in the stalks. Wait until stalks are fully papery and crisp before cutting them into a bag. Safe for all. We close this list with one of the oldest and most dependable protein crops in American garden history. Black-eyed peas, also called cowpeas, have been grown in southern U.S. gardens for more than 300 years. 1 cup of cooked black-eyed peas delivers around 13 grams of protein. They are heat-tolerant, drought-resistant, and remarkably forgiving, which makes them an excellent choice for gardeners who have found other legumes difficult to grow in hot, dry summers. Black-eyed peas grow in USDA zones 5 through 11. Plant seeds directly in warm soil after last frost, 1 inch deep and 3 to 4 inches apart. They mature in 60 to 90 days. Bush varieties stay compact at 18 to 24 inches and suit raised beds. Climbing varieties reach 5 or 6 feet and need a fence or trellis. Like all legumes, they fix nitrogen and improve the soil as they grow. For fresh eating, pick pods when young and tender. For dried beans to store through winter, leave pods on the plant until completely brown and papery. The tip most growers overlook. Even though black-eyed peas tolerate drought, they still benefit from a deep watering once a week during extended dry periods. Drought-tolerant means they survive without water. It does not mean water makes no difference to yield. Water them consistently, and your harvest will reflect it. Safe for all. Those are 15 crops that can turn your garden into a genuine protein source. All 15 are within reach of a home gardener, whatever your space and whatever your zone. You do not need to plant all 15 this season. Start with 1 or 2 that match your climate. Try lentils for a cool weather crop that improves your soil at the same time. Try edamame for a reliable, warm season producer with almost no learning curve. Try amaranth if you want a plant that needs almost nothing from you and still delivers 2 separate harvests. 3 of these crops, buckwheat, quinoa, and amaranth, are complete proteins, meaning they contain all 9 essential amino acids. That is rare in the plant world and worth remembering. If this video gave you some new ideas for what your garden can do, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below and tell me which of these 15 you are most excited to try first. A thumbs up helps other gardeners find this content. And if you are not already subscribed, now is a great time to do that so you do not miss what we put out next here at Evergreen Garden. Thank you sincerely for spending this time with us, and as always, happy growing.